All right, everyone. Now we have a topic focusing on happiness. This speaker believes that happiness is the end goal of life, which is what prompted him to explore the causes of the recent sharp decline in happiness over the past few years. All right, everyone, from the East Cohort, representing his home state of Virginia, Hunter Habersaat. Woo!
Thank you. Thank you. Well, hi. For those of you who haven't seen me, my name is Hunter Habersaat, and today I'd like to talk to you all about the happiness scale. So, what exactly am I talking about, the happiness scale? Is it a brick and mortar scale? Are we comparing two items? Are we stepping on a scale and seeing our weight? Whenever I hear scale, I like to think of this, what you see in courtrooms, but no, I'm not talking about a scale. And if I'm being realistic, being honest with myself, what I'm talking about is more like this. It's a graph. And some would say this is, yeah, that's not a scale at all, but I didn't like the way that the happiness graph sounded, so that's why we use scale. But basically what this scale or graph will tell you is that happiness in Americans at least is declining over time. You'll see at the top left we're at about 2.26 on the happiness scale, and over at in 2015 we're about 2.16. And this doesn't seem like a lot, but when we see what these numbers represent, it means a little bit more than just a difference of 0.1 in decimals. Basically, researchers went out and asked a bunch of people in America, how happy are you on a scale of 1 to 3? One meaning not happy, 2 meaning pretty happy, and 3 meaning very happy. And over time, across the general population, this number has been declining. So one explanation for this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And when you look that up, you'll get a couple different images. These are some of my favorites, showing Wi-Fi as the most important need, which is becoming more and more true. But on top of that, we can see needs that humans need to fulfill. And for those who don't enjoy Wi-Fi, we also have this one, which is equally true, which has Google at the bottom and Ray-Bans capping out the triangle. But Maslow's actual hierarchy needs is defined by 5 key tiers, and that's psychological needs, safety needs, belongingness, and love needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization. So when we're talking about psychological needs, that's basically what you need to survive: food, water, warmth, and rest. You can't survive without them. And when you need shelter as well, but it's not as necessary because there's no predator. Technically, you could survive, but that's up next. And with these two things, you should be able to survive. And then you can move on to the next tier. That's mainly was a problem that was faced by earlier humans, or the modern day, that's people who face homelessness and need to worry about those. But the vast majority of the population is living within the green and blue area, which is psychological needs, defined by belongingness and love needs, which is intimate relationships and friends, and esteem needs, which is prestige and feeling of accomplishment. So why are people getting stuck on belongingness and love needs and esteem needs, especially in the modern day? Well, one explanation of this is the adoption of social media. And you can't just point at social media and say this is the cause for everything, because social media can be blamed for a lot of things. So what exactly is the reasoning behind social media causing unhappiness? Well, social media promotes what I like to call artificial or fake interactions through messaging and calls. And no, they're not fake. They're not fake in the sense that these aren't actual people on the other side that you're talking to, although sometimes they're not. It can be a robot, but through messengers and calls, you can interact with people who you'd otherwise see in daily life. And I call these fake because they're not real in the sense that you're going and seeing these people. And humans were not built to operate on these messenger platforms, these calling platforms. And because of that, we don't really know how to react as a species, if we're going from like a biological standpoint. But why does this matter? Why does this matter at all? Why does it matter to me? Why does it matter to you? And what does this implicate? Well, another quick graph for those who like graphs. It's the same one from before, except this time we zoomed out a little bit and we can see 2020. So here we can see the differentiation between very happy, pretty happy, and not too happy. So if you all remember, in about 2020, this very happy takes a sharp dip around the COVID-19 pandemic. And not too happy takes a sharp incline, and pretty happy goes up. But really, that's just very happy going down, and some people deciding they're now pretty happy, and some of them saying they're not too happy. So one of the major implications of COVID-19 was not being able to see people, not having face-to-face interactions, and being forced to go onto online platforms. And this, for a lot of people inside, killed them. They couldn't deal with it, and they weren't ready for this full-scale adoption of this. And why this is relevant is because even after like we recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, there are effects that will stay for years and years, decades to come. And as we move to a more centralized, not centralized, but technological society, staying online and having all of our interactions online is something that's becoming more and more real. And in truth, that's scary because if happiness is able to take that much of a dip from COVID-19 over a longer period of time, we'll start to see that level out. And, even a higher amount of the population will say they're not too happy and they won't find satisfaction with their lives. So that's all I have for you. Thank you.